If you do the work that we're talking about here, you are going to leap past your competition. And frankly, when working with lawyers, that's one of the issues. I want to be better than the other lawyers. Law and the business of law is getting more competitive than it's ever been. Not just with things like legal service providers like Axiom and Rocket Lawyer and any of those types of things, but other law firms are getting more aggressive. And not just the park benches and the buses and the billboards, but whatever type of law you do, it's getting more and more competitive. So you need to be more focused and be more attuned to how you run your business as a lawyer. Certainly that first block, being a great lawyer is job one. I totally get it. And I work with some old school lawyers that say, that's all I do for marketing. And all the referrals I need and all the business I need comes from being a great lawyer. Great. You might consider these other things to augment that, especially if you're at a different point in your career. Client care is your number one priority. We saw that a moment ago with the BTI saying that's the number one thing that matters to clients. Updating your website and your bio regularly. Gosh, I can't believe how many times lawyers don't do that. Can I phrase that differently? How often lawyers don't update their bio? Usually, like we're getting ready to respond to an RFP. Oh my God, Smith versus Jones isn't on there, and the big matter I did for ABC Bank isn't on there. Why aren't they there? Well, when I was in marketing departments, we don't know about Smith versus Jones. It's kind of it's on you to make sure your bio is updated, your practice group page is updated, your website is updated if you're a smaller or solo firm. Remember when we were looking at the client journey? They're looking at this without you knowing that I've got potential clients that are looking at this. What an easy and great way to up your game and to be better than those that aren't doing this stuff. Getting active on LinkedIn, updating your profile, there are all kinds of resources on how to do that. Again, we have a session on LinkedIn that we're doing. I would implore you to do the core 5 coaching modules. Right? Introduction to business development, the business plan for lawyers, engaging client outreach, this session on building and curating referral networks, and then the session on getting that all down to 15 minutes a week. I think I mentioned in the introduction to this, lawyer-to-lawyer business development coaching, and especially these core 5 modules, is a real masterclass, I think, on everything that you need to know to build and grow your business. Doing those other modules is an investment of your money and time, but man, you will be not only elite, as I've said before, so few firms are training on this that you will be much better situated to be a much better business person as an attorney. Focusing your time, using the worksheets to refine, focus, and act, tracking sources for new matters and new clients for 12 months. When I work with firms on, let's look, and I think Deborah mentioned this as well earlier, where your new clients are coming from. And I'm saying this to mid-size and larger firms specifically, because I know in the intake process, there is a checkbox or a drop-down or a carrot that says, where did this new client come from? And I can't tell you how that doesn't get used. Right? So if you're if you have a smaller firm or you're a solo and or even you're a larger firm that realizes it's got to change its ways, tracking where your new clients come from is so valuable, especially if you can do it for 12 months or 24 months. And why? Because if you work backwards from that, the data and the intel you get from that is just hugely important to you as a business. Hey, 25% of our new clients came from this trade organization, or it came from whatever your efforts are, the annual tax seminar that we do. It came from referrals through alumni. Tracking where new clients come from then informs what your business development is going to be, right? It can be kind of random with a lot of attorneys and a lot of firms. They don't know where that data is. They don't gather that data, but they probably have the ability to do so. So if you have an existing, maybe just for you, oh, the rest of the firm, the lawyers aren't doing it, but I'm going to start doing it. I'm going to have a session with my admin talking about here's the importance of doing it, and I'm going to track it for the next 12 months. Wow. Even though you think you know, wait till you see that at the end of a 12-month period. If you don't have one, create it, and it can be really simple, like a spreadsheet or whatever is the simplest way for you to say, this new client came from that attorney, or from that conference, or from that membership that I go to. Doing this will move you beyond competition more quickly than you can imagine.